you! You're insane!
Hello, and welcome to the Madhouse, episode 94. I'm Ultimate Spy 53, the host of this podcast, and joining me for this week's episode, I have...
Even Kovoc doesn't achieve Kovoc. I exist in this world.
I'm Chakky. I am weed. But anyway.
Hello, people. I am bigdinoguy. Bigdinoguy here.
What up, everybody? I'm back at it again with another podcast.
Yay.
Well, Tom is, but I'm still here because I'm a person, and my name is Kaylee. Full disclosure, I'm actually filling Jedi robes right now, so if I, seem like I'm a bit preoccupied,
That is our cast this week. Pretty nice. Last year, I think we had a podcast, we had a podcast at the end of the year talking about, what we thought of the year, and I think the following episode after that, we had a podcast about about movies coming out this year, and this year, because that was a year ago, we never really got around to talking about movies that we were all looking forward to seeing. We just never really got around to it. It's already March. We just haven't gotten around to it. Sorry. So I have made a list of movies that I personally want to see very much. And some of them already have come out, so I've kind of deleted them. But the ones that have come out, I'm just going to talk about the one that came out on Friday yesterday, and then we'll talk about list out the rest of them. So the one that came out recently, Wrinkle in Time. Apparently not I think it's gotten pretty low on Rotten Tomatoes. It looks awesome though. I want to see it really bad, but I think people are complaining about the plot. It's every time it's a plot. I don't know what to do about that. But that's a movie that came out recently from Disney. It's based off a book called Wrinkle in Time. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard it's very good.
Oh yes, I want to see that.
I remember that book.
Yeah,
I read that book too. It was so good.
I've heard it's good.
I remember that. It was great.
Yeah, I've heard it's good. It looks really good.
Interesting. Sci-fi.
It has Oprah Winfrey in it.
I know, right, going on, and it was actually kind of cool.
I didn't actually know that Oprah Winfrey is actually an actress. I thought she was just a host on her own show. I didn't actually know she had acting. And then
really got my imagination.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then Tomb Raider's coming out on the 16th, and that's actually a reboot based off the 2013 game of the reboot series.
Oh, yeah,
and I'm a big fan of the Tomb Raider games.
Of what?
Tomb Raider. They made a new Tomb Raider. We talked about it previously, but we didn't really go into detail.
Movie, yes, the other day, and it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know about you guys.
I have not seen the original yet, unfortunately.
Basically, because they made
Assassin's Creed movie. Right.
They made two of them starring Angelina Jolie, and it was actually based off of the original games, like the Anniversary and Legend and whatever the games, like the one where actually they're badass. And then this is loosely based off of the 2013 game. Not really, because it's mainly the shipwreck thing kind of thing, but there aren't the same characters and everything. I just based off the trailer. Because that's the movie. I just in the trailer, and it's oh, I played the game, but I don't notice anything, game-based anything. It just, the outfit looks very similar, but, it looks really interesting. It's coming out, I think, this next Friday. So.
I don't know about you guys, but I am down for the Solo movie.
Yeah?
And
that's actually on the list.
Oh
yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I was actually, hear me out. I was actually looking forward to seeing Daisy Ridley play Lara Croft because she's British and I don't know.
I honestly have never played the movie.
Play
the
movie.
How
can you play a movie? You can't play a movie.
But you know what I really want to see though? A movie based off of Doom. Remember that really old computer game?
Cool. I've played a little bit of it.
There is a Doom movie. There is a Doom movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's kind of bad, but there is a Doom movie.
Oh my God, no.
Wow.
It's from the 90s.
Wow.
Nice. But yeah,
it was 2005, but yes.
Wow.
Okay, but I am also down for the Solo movie.
I'll get to that pretty soon.
I want to see this movie.
Bear with me, I'll get to that soon. Next on the list is Pacific Rim Uprising. Now unfortunately, this was a topic we talked about before, but unfortunately that podcast broke, so I had to not upload it actually because the podcast broke, but we did talk about it. I'm sorry, but that episode had to be skipped because the audio broke, so, but hey, I used the old method, and that looks actually really good. It's, I keep getting ads for it. It's Pacific Rim Up is I will see it when it comes out, but not yet. Stop telling me. I will see it. Shut up, okay? It's it looks really good because I think it looks because I'm a big fan of Godzilla and monster movies. I just love them. Me and bigdinoguy are big monster nerds. We just love the monster franchise, especially with the big destroying Godzilla kind of things.
Well, personally, full disclosure, neither of these guys messes around when it comes to dinosaurs or other reptile-like monsters. Okay, they don't mess around.
They're fucking awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
okay, they could probably write a 16-page MLA format paper on their favorite dinosaur or other, creature.
Right.
Just like
Dinosaur
I
is me.
a 16-page essay on the Wrath of Khan.
But yeah,
Which, by the way, was a good movie.
That looks like it's gonna be
And
really
it
good.
Oh yeah, that's the best Star Trek movie ever.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, that looked really good. I don't know what the deal with the plot is gonna be, because like the Charlie Day isn't coming back. He was in the first one, but he's not coming back in this one. I guess that.
Well, there is a scheduling conflict.
Yeah, the
so
Marshall's son is gonna be in the movie. But I don't know what they're gonna explain. I don't know how they're to explain the character, going away.
So originally it was like I said, just scheduling conflict.
Yeah,
because,
right.
He's supposed to be doing I think he's doing a TV show or something like
Yeah, I
that
think
now.
so. Maybe.
But, yeah, he was supposed to have been in there. They asked him if he wanted to, and he just never had the chance.
It's unfortunate,
Because I actually looked up some different information on that a little bit ago, and that's just why. He really wished that he could, but
yeah, totally.
it just didn't work out.
That's the thing with movies, is where they make a sequel and the actor, or main actor or whatever, they don't come back, and it's like, how are we gonna explain the change of them not being in the movie? They had the companion in the movie, but they don't have the change.
At least the ladies there. That's why.
I imagine they'll somehow nod to where is he now? Is he gone somewhere else? I imagine they'll do that. That's what it had to do with when you're writing a screenplay and you have a character who can't be in the movie because the actor who played that character is gone. He's things. You gotta just write it in. That's the way it is. I imagine they'll figure out something. They always do it. So yeah. And then another movie that I'm not really looking forward to as much, but it looks like I'm still looking for. I still will watch it, and that's Romeo and Juliet 2, Sherlock Gnomes. It looks okay, but I'm not
actually gonna be there's a sequel of that?
Yeah, I'm not overjoyed by it.
I must admit something though.
It looks okay.
Yeah.
I must admit something though. I actually
Yeah.
So one day my dad and I we had nothing to do, and we went to a movie, and we were like, oh fuck it, and we saw that. We saw that piece of shit.
It wasn't that bad.
What movie?
It was
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet.
It was actually a somewhat decent film, but it was just not really.
The only qualms that I had was that it was not an accurate portrayal of the actual story. I mean, even the fact that there's gnomes in it, that always pisses me off about Romeo and Juliet movies. Romeo and Juliet was not a love story, okay? It was a story about a relationship between a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old that lasted for less than a week that caused 6 deaths. Okay?
Pretty much.
Every time that story gets portrayed as a love story or something like that.
Everyone seems to always be talking about it as love story.
Yeah.
I know, right?
So weird.
That was not a love story.
That's clearly what it was not supposed to be. It was supposed to be how two people.
It was a tragedy.
It's about
literally
who fall in love with each other and then and from two different rival groups. And it's basically about how those rival groups react to that. And how it ends up killing a shit ton of people.
I mean, and here's the thing with the movie.
in reality, with Romeo and Juliet, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to love like Romeo and Juliet. I'm just like, no, I want to love like Gomez and Morticia from the Addams Family.
Yeah. 6 deaths using a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old relationship? Fuck no.
I mean, here's the thing with the first movie. The first movie, kind of, the reason why they used that was because, the gnomes were, at war or something, at least in the first movie. I don't know about the second movie, but the first movie, the gnomes were at war. That's why it was, you can't have Romeo fall in with Juliet. That's not how it works. We're at war. It's you can't do that. I think that might have been true with the original tale.
They never answered this question that I have now, that I just thought of. Why the hell were they rivals in the first place?
I don't know.
So I can tell you something with that.
I need answers to that.
I don't know about the actual films, but with the movie Romeo and Juliet that they did, the reason is because they were actually neighbors. Right. So their owners on Romeo and Juliet's side, they had red or blue. Both of them had a bunch of lawn gnomes that apparently came to life without anyone knowing. And
why were they rivals? So why did they hate each other?
They hated each other. Both their owners were assholes. Simple as that. Both their owners were assholes and just didn't get along. Until the very end, and then all was, they make up because, kid story.
Yeah, of course.
And because they all made up, they apparently moved together. They got their own place, yada yada yada, and that's the way everything is now because everyone's all one big old Nomeo family.
Definitely, it's just
in real life, they all died.
It is an interesting story.
In the story, they all died.
I mean, I think the first movie was great because the voice acting was pretty good and had an interesting story. But with this, I didn't even know they were making a sequel. I'm like, Nomeo and Juliet 2? What? I didn't know that was like. I'm like, I didn't think they would do that. Like, I didn't really imagine.
I honestly don't think it was necessary though. I mean, I like the idea, but.
Some movies do something to sequel because there's some more stories to tell. You know, the Shrek movies have the exact thing where it's like, there's no more stories to tell. What else could they do? Oh, they can make more because of money, or whatever.
And alternate universes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that's a movie that looks okay. But one movie that I'm looking forward to a lot because it looks so good and futuristic is Ready Player One. I'm so excited for that movie. It looks awesome.
So actually, for that one, that's the day that it comes out is the day that my girlfriend comes into town.
Oh, sweet!
And
awesome.
We're thinking of maybe seeing it, maybe not. I don't know.
It looks really
But,
good.
I'm down for all things sci-fi movies. Like if
Yeah.
it's anything like Ex Machina, I'm gonna like it because I like Ex Machina.
I mean, the cool thing about the movie is it has all these references. It has the DeLorean in there. It has everything you can possibly. It has the Batmobile. Every pop culture reference ever. I don't know what maybe Star Wars. I imagine, but they've every science fiction, fantasy nod in there, even from video games. It looks
Pretty
awesome.
much. If you watch the trailers, they have everything from the Iron Giant to I think they even have some newer shows like what's it called again?
What?
It's one of those really popular games right now.
Overwatch?
Not Fortnite.
Overwatch. I've
Yeah,
heard.
Overwatch.
I haven't played it yet.
Kind of thing.
I want to play, but I just haven't really gotten around to it. It costs money,
Yeah,
so
but that looks cool enough.
apparently everyone else has played it but me. Poor me.
I haven't played it either.
I
I haven't played Misty, which is like over 20 years old. Come on, give me a break. Not my fault. I wasn't alive in the 80s or 90s.
Mate,
I
you're not
wasn't
the
born
only person
until
who hasn't
96.
played
So
Overwatch. I haven't either.
So yeah, that's just an example. It looks really good. I'm excited for the plot because it has a very interesting plot. It's obviously Steven Spielberg is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. He made Jurassic Park and other really amazing movies. And
Which one?
Jurassic Park. He made Jurassic Park, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
I love that song. It's so good. But that's an example of a movie that's really good. They keep they promote the shit out of it. It looks amazing. I hope they have some good. Maybe they'll have some Jurassic Park Easter eggs in that movie. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised because it is by Steven Spielberg. So who knows if he'll put some InGen in there? Who knows? I don't know.
So actually, what's going on with that is I don't know the exact synopsis, but basically what's apparently been said is that basically these people are trying to use them as super weapons, and selling up to the highest bidders. That's one of the ideas I've heard.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think it'll be a very interesting movie because of the fact that it's such a futuristic movie. We have a lot of those in the world now. We have a lot of movies set in the future, but like this will be really testing the limits of like virtual reality of like, oh, enter the I'm bored here. Enter the Oasis where you're not bored. It's like, yay.
Oh yeah, I've seen trailers for that.
Yeah, it looks really good. I keep seeing trailers for it. It's like
I'll
see when it comes out, but maybe.
Oh, I thought they were talking about Jurassic Park.
Well, I'm talking about because it's the same director. He made. I'm saying that they might put Jurassic Park Easter eggs in the movie because it's by the same filmmaker. So
I hope so. I hope together they don't miss.
Is it that movie that they were talking about, The Missing Millions? Is that it? Player 2?
Yeah, Ready Player 2.
Oh my god, I want to see that movie.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm hoping they'll put some kind of Jurassic Park Easter egg in there. Looks amazing because that song, the Jurassic Park song is one of my favorites. It's so gorgeous and it's. Oh my god, I just love listening to that. It's like, it's amazing. So the next movie on the list of movies that I am interested in seeing is possibly, I don't know if I want to see this movie, New Mutants, which was pushed back to, actually, no, I'm going to take out the list. That was, I'm going to have the original movie listed on that. Let's skip that one. That's not until February, sorry. It's a movie that was delayed, and I can't talk about it because it's been delayed.
What?
So.
No, dude, seriously, what movie are you talking about?
Originally supposed to be released on the 13th of April, New Mutants, and they pushed it back to February. We talked about it, but they pushed it back, and I just on my list forgot to delete it because I know that it's now pushed back, but I don't know, they decided I wanted to do it. We talked about it, so we don't have to talk about it again. We already talked about it. And the next movie that they originally pushed back, I don't know why they did this, but I guess Marvel said they could, and they did it. Infinity War. The one movie that I'm looking forward to the most this year is Avengers Infinity War. Looks awesome. I can't wait for it. And that's coming on the 27th of April, about a week early, which begs the question of why they do it if they like, it's confusing. It's a topic I want to talk about also is because we've had 2 movies now, I think. This one did Tenet movie come out, but movies that get release dates where they have the release date and they were like maybe a month away from it, and it's like, oh yeah, no, you know what, we're gonna push that back, further, or we're gonna move that up.
I'm
It's
upset that the Solo movie didn't get released on May 4th.
No, and they're gonna keep that release date.
May 26th.
It looks cool though. That movie looks cool. But yeah, there's not much to say about that movie. I'm just looking forward to it. It looks awesome. There's a lot of information about it. Although one thing I'm curious to know, I just want to bring this up real quick, is Thanos does not look the same without his armor and his helmet.
Oh yeah.
He just looks weird.
He looks like Joss Whedon, but a purple dude.
He doesn't have his.
Seriously, he does. He looks almost exactly like Joss Whedon.
Okay, is that good though, or is that bad? I'm pretty sure that's bad.
He just looks weird.
I don't know if it's good or bad. All I know is it looks weird.
Also, one thing I noticed about the movie, because they were doing art and stuff like that for the movie, is that Spider-Man is now officially been confirmed as Iron Spider, and there's promotional art with his Iron Spider leg.
Was that like Iron Man and Spider-Man?
No.
It's Batman v Superman.
No. Basically, it's Spider. So at the end of Homecoming, which was the new Spider movie, Tony Stark, Iron Man gave Parker a new suit, which is derived from the suit recently used in the comics, I think a couple years ago, called the Iron Spider, which literally
It's been years coming.
Yeah, it's really
The
cool.
Iron Spider has been used around for years. So basically what happened in the original comics was exactly that. Both Tony Stark and Spider-Man, they had a good rapport, even in the old comics and whatnot. They were good. I don't know if they're friends for certain or not, but they knew each other. And if I remember right, I think that Peter actually worked for Stark at one point or something like that. Something along those lines. I don't know, but anyway, what happened was it went like there, and Tony eventually gave him a suit called the Iron Spider suit, but almost like what the new one that he has. It didn't have quite all the things installed right, but even Peter Parker hacked into that.
That was great. Yeah, I love that moment. But because everyone was like, oh, because the Lego sets are revealing that he's gonna have the Iron Spider leg that we're gonna get. Like, I don't think we will. And then weirdly enough, because everyone's like, oh, quite a bit like, oh, we're not gonna get it on the Spider leg. It's not gonna happen. Like, and then I think the Entertainment Weekly magazine, they just need to unveil a whole bunch of art for the characters, and one of them was Spider-Man with the Iron Spider legs popping out, probably like his attachments. It looks awesome and badass. It looks so cool, and I think it's gonna be awesome because I haven't read the comics of that character. I grew up on the comics of Spider-Man, but I never really got around to reading the one where we got the Iron Spider suit. So this is new to me. Just in general. Just imagine Spider-Man more spider-like, more actual spider-like than he is in the movies. So that's basically, even if for those of you who don't really read / watch Marvel movies or comics, basically it's imagine Spider-Man but more spider-like, like an actual spider-like. He actually has legs. So that's basically what it is. It's pretty cool. Then I don't want to talk about anywhere too much. Just like I just wanted to update you on the thing. There's also Iron Man has got bleeding edge armor, which actually has attachment. It looks so cool.
Spider.
That looks so cool.
Whatever a spider
I don't think that's how it goes, but nice try. Anyway, but that's just the thing that I noticed that was really cool is that Iron Man has new armor. It looks awesome. So the next movie on the list of movies that I don't even know if they haven't announced it yet. I don't think is a Lackey movie. I don't know if you guys watch Lackey movies. They're people who make Coraline, Box Trolls, Paranormal, Strings, all the stop motion movies. Because Coraline's one of my favorite movies. And so they're making a new one this year. I don't know what I don't know the name of it. They haven't even released anything yet, but I have it on my phone as a Lackey movie for May 18th. So who knows when that'll be a thing. That's pretty much it. I don't have any details about that. They're really making a new one, but I have no information about that. So I just be excited for a new Lackey movie, a new stop motion movie. Who knows what it will be about? But I haven't given any information. But yay. Anyway, so the next movie on the list is they moved up Deadpool 2, which looks badass, and Deadpool's awesome too. So I'm not really say about Deadpool 2. It looks awesome. I like Deadpool. The first one was great, and I don't know. It looks like it could be interesting. I think the first trailer that I saw was really funny because Deadpool complained about Cable's arm not being finished because he's known for doing breaking the fourth wall. Basically, in the trailer, he's like, "Oh, why isn't the arm finished yet? Why isn't the visual fix on this arm?" He just like he fixes it with the classic Thanos line, "I'll do myself." So that was, yeah. I mean, it looks like a really funny movie. Honestly, it's like.
And if you realize what the sounds are supposed to be, oh my.
What?
Next time when you actually said, "Never mind, I'll finish it myself."
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Listen to all the noises, including the very last one. Boys and girls, if you are underage, it'll fly over your head like it should.
Yep.
If you aren't, well, and you have a dirty mind, it's Deadpool.
Yep.
Just think back to the unicorn. Think of the unicorn and you'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So that's coming out pretty soon. It's coming out about a week. No. It's coming out about 3 weeks after Infinity War comes out. So it's like it's around that, and it's actually I think it's the Josh Brolin is actually being also Cable and Thanos at the same time, which is crazy. But I think it's gonna be really fun because I'm not a big fan of Deadpool, but I enjoyed the first one. I think the first one was hilarious, brutal but hilarious, and in the very it doesn't feel like an action movie because it's very singular and it's like in its own little world, but it's part of that universe. Yes. Just in a very, very different way, but still, I'm enjoying it, and I think the second will be really good, especially they're making more of them. So yeah, and then of course we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Incredibles 2 is coming out June 15th. I'm very happy about that. We talked about the trailer for that a couple weeks ago, and we all said we're really excited for it. So again, not really much to talk about, but it looks awesome. And then of course we don't need to talk about Jurassic World because we're going to talk about that. Unless you guys want to talk about it, unless you have anything more to talk about on Jurassic World 2. Anything else on that one? Yeah, it's on my list, but
I have one movie that I'd like to talk about.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So those of you might know that I'm a huge Predator fan. I love this last series. I think it's one of the best ever made. I sincerely love the first one especially. And one of the actors from the original film, I think he played I forget the dude's name, but basically the dude Shane Black, who was in the original Predator film, he played a character in it that got killed off very early on. He is now directing a Predator movie just called The Predator. Flat out, The Predator. And it's got Michael Keys, the dude from Key and Peele. It's got the same dude that played the dude with the robotic hand in Logan. He's in that, and along with a bunch of other cast. And it's supposed to be taking place like 20 years or so after the original Predator film. And it's supposed to be taking place like after everything it's finally a new Predator film. The last one that we had was Predators in 2010, which was a Robert Rodriguez film. Or I believe it was by Robert Rodriguez. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. Basically, this movie has been delayed 3 times.
Wow.
Originally, it's supposed to have come out earlier, I think like 2 months from now was its original release date, and everything looked all set, whatnot, and then all of a sudden, hey, we gotta go back and do some more reshoots and take a look at things.
I hate those.
Then it got delayed a second time.
Oh my god.
And then as of about 3 weeks ago, it got delayed a third time.
Oh my
god. It's not going to be released until next year.
Wow. Damn.
Oh.
Jeez.
I don't know if I should be anticipating it or if I need to get to the worrying stage. A lot of the different fan bases that I follow constantly.
Yeah.
One of them is a huge fan of the Predator. They do a bunch of info about the universe, the mythos, whatever, and I listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been a huge supporter. Even he's been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when a movie gets, it's not exactly common for a movie to get delayed 3 times, so.
Think about the Gamma movie. The Gamma movie, which is a X-Men character, which was seen in Origins of Wolverine, which I enjoyed myself. I don't care about you haters, but basically that movie has gotten delayed so much. They have like directors losing. I don't know what the deal is, but they just like I'm at the point where it's like I don't even think I care about the movie coming out because it's never gonna come out. They just keep losing directors, and it's like and then it's kind of like that. It's like this for those of you who have no idea what Big Dinner Guy is talking about. I knew a little bit about it, but I'm not really interested because of the horror genre. Basically, Predator, from what I understand, is basically it's the same kind of horror genre as the Alien movies. I myself haven't watched those mainly because I'm afraid if I watch Alien movies, I'm going to have a nightmare. So I'm not gonna watch them. I'm not kidding. I don't diss them. I'm just literally I'm afraid if I watch Alien 1, I'm going to have a nightmare, so I don't want to watch it.
Nate, if you really want nightmares, watch The Saw.
No, I told you, I don't want to have
no.
nightmares. That's why I'm not going to watch it. That's why it is, but I've heard a bit about it. I think they had a crossover with Aliens, but I don't know much about the movie at all, so it's a bigdinoguy thing, so that's pretty much it. But yeah, and kind of like with the movie getting delayed, they had of course, the Gambit movie. At this point, I don't even think I care, because I got Gambit in Origins Wolverine. That's good enough for me. I don't give a shit. It's just a movie. No one's gonna care about a movie about a superhero who can use cards for powers. That's pretty much his power. So, that's pretty much it. And then the next movie, because we don't really need to talk about Laika, because we don't have any information about that, is Solo. Now, I saw the trailer for this, and this looks really awesome, because we don't know much about we never really got much about Han Solo's history, and I think that this movie, based off the trailer, looks like we're finally gonna get the Kessel Run, because
I really love the Millennium Falcon design here.
Oh yeah.
But you know what I've noticed is that people are kind of teased about the condition. You know how the Millennium Falcon was in the original trilogy, right? But now this Falcon is like clean and everything.
Yep.
And you know what I have to say to that? I have to say it makes sense because think about it. Han Solo had that Falcon for like, what, 20 years up to that point? And, he and it's been known that he sacrificed, he fitted that ship to his own. So, he had to sacrifice some of the stuff to, do his smuggling thing, because that's what he did.
Yep.
Now, Han Solo, he is the type of person who, it's gonna look dirtier, because even though it's not really, it's just the way that the Falcon looks because of all the modifications he had made. So really, there's no reason for fans to be upset about that fact,
Yeah.
It's the way it makes sense. But I do really love the Falcon's design.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that with this movie, it'll tie up a lot of loose ends with story that we never really got, especially when we first got to see him in episode 4. We just got he explained his backstory a little bit, but we didn't really know how that story was told. And I feel like with these new anthology movies in the Star Wars universe, we're gonna get a lot more story about these characters, like Obi-Wan movie, which I'm looking forward to. And in the characters we don't really get, maybe if they make Yoda movie, we'll get more information about him, because a lot of these Star Wars characters, we don't know much about them except some of their scenes in the prequel trilogy. That's literally it. So I feel like with these movies, they'll do a lot more of explaining a lot of the backstory, because Han Solo, we have hardly any information about besides we had in the original trilogy. And I feel like if they tell the story of that in these movies and characters, it'll make a lot of fans happy, because even if you read the books, you don't know much about any of the stories. So that's important, I feel like.
So, because we are talking about Solo, and I need to also say a couple of pieces on this. One, I hope that scene that they're showing is the Kessel Run.
Yeah, I think it was.
That would be awesome to see.
I know,
oh my god, that would just be...
You know what? That people are always saying that the Kessel Run, that him saying that doesn't make sense, because obviously a parsec is a unit of distance.
Right.
But it actually does make sense. And let me tell you why. Because the Kessel Run is a run that goes through a lot of black holes. And those black holes, they make a person have to take longer. But a good pilot will actually be able to circumnavigate those black holes, and thus make the run in a shorter distance. So
very interesting.
On that though, another thing about Solo. So one thing that I hope together they do in this one is I hope that they bring back Solo's badassery, because I want to see him shoot someone first, and shoot first, ask questions later, and just be a quippy one-liner. Just like that. I hate the fact that they had someone else to do, hey, I use the horse, or whatever. To dodge a fucking blaster bolt.
The thing I realized is that if Han didn't shoot first, he'd be dead. So it's very likely right there that Han actually shot first.
Oh yeah.
Because he doesn't, Oki religious and ancient war planes are no match for a good blaster out by your side. I mean, literally, it's impossible for him to
No, that's actually how Han is. That is Han.
And that's what I hope that they do with this one, because one of the complaints that Harrison Ford had, and one of the reasons why he got frozen carbonite, which is when he was like, okay, maybe I'll come back, maybe I won't, whatever, and that's why they wrote the carbonite scene in, is because he hated the way that his character was dubbed down. He loved how badass Han Solo was, but then the second one is just like, I'm a little more of a goofball. What? That's not the character. And then he's like, okay, maybe I'll just sit through it one more time. And that's why the actor didn't really care about what happened in the very end.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I hope to God that I have a lot of concerns about this film.
Yeah.
I think it could be either really fantastic or it has, it's just as likely for it to be an absolute failure.
I know.
There have been some rumors from people like within Disney that they are expecting it to be an epic fail. They're not expecting this movie to do good, and they don't really expect a whole lot from it. Unfortunately, I've heard that from quite a few different sources. Granted, they are all from secondhand sources that have talked to the firsthand or whatnot, but until I'm again reiterating the third hand, so don't take my word for it. I might be wrong, and I hope to God I am. But if this turn out to be true, I don't know. If it's a good movie, I think it has the ability to be a fantastic film. I hope to God that it's a fantastic film. I love Han Solo. He's one of my favorite characters. I want to see it happen. I want to see this be an absolute success, but I can't. But if it turns out to be shit, no.
Yeah, no,
It's going to be a severe letdown, and unfortunately, I don't really like that anymore. Despite how many problems the prequels might have had, they're still relatively decent in a manner of speaking. Episode 3 being fantastic.
Like my favorite trilogy of all, mainly because they give backstory on one of the biggest characters in Star Wars, and because of the music, because they really emotionally connect with me. Like, there's a reason that Anakin Skywalker, that somebody did a montage of Anakin Skywalker to the song Believer by Imagine Dragons, which, by the way, is amazing. You should check it out. And, but, the prequels are very, very emotionally connected, and I especially love The Phantom Menace. Not just because of the pod race, although that was awesome, but because they show Qui-Gon, and we get our first impression of, okay, this is a Jedi, right? And we think that Qui-Gon, this awesome person, is the norm for the Jedi. But then, when we actually meet the Jedi Order in the next episode, we find out that he's actually anything but. He's considered a maverick, and that hits us hard, and it really makes us think about the problems the Jedi Order actually had. Because let me tell you, there are some problems. Anakin didn't for nothing.
I mean, I think that with the movie Solo, I feel like no Star Wars movie is complete without lightsabers. I mean, I didn't see Rogue One. I just saw maybe one little clip from the movie, and it had a lightsaber with Darth Vader. That was the only thing I saw from the movie because I'm just not ready yet. But I hope they have some kind of lightsaber, because if they don't have a lightsaber, it doesn't make sense for it to be a Star Wars movie. It has to have some kind of iconic thing like a lightsaber. I mean, they just have to. They can't have a lightsaber.
Actually, on that,
I don't think so.
On that though, they were originally supposed to be making what's her face of Jedi, the lady.
Daenerys?
Yeah, originally that's what she was written as, to be a Force-sensitive kid, and she was supposed to have had that crystal that you see around her neck throughout the entire movie, and that was supposed to have been a kyber crystal. Just like what they actually did, but she was supposed to have been Force-sensitive. All of a sudden, but they just want to throw it in there. I mean, and it had no really rhyme or reason for what they're trying to go.
Wow, that's really interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about Solo. It looks like a really interesting movie. I'm just kind of, I was disappointed with the production of the movie because of the fact that I had to lose two directors and I had to get a new one, and I'm just like, those kind of changes make movies perform less at the box office, because like, you have a movie that loses its directors and takes forever to get to development. That makes it weaker at the box office. A movie that has a plan, then it gets successful. Like, recently Black Panther got $1 billion at the box, which is crazy, but like, if a movie doesn't have a good production schedule and that it keeps losing directors, or it never really goes through, or almost doesn't go through, then when it comes to the box office, it could end up just not doing well. It could make money, but reviews wouldn't be the best. So that's just my thoughts. So and then the next movie on the list is I'm gonna skip Incredibles 2 and Jurassic World. Ant-Man, we don't need to talk about that because we've already talk about that. Hotel Transylvania 3. That's July 13th.
Oh my god, there's another one?
I know.
I can't wait to see that. I don't think I ever saw Hotel Transylvania 2.
Why are they making another one?
Because they can. They can story and money.
It makes them that paper money.
I've heard it's called some kind of vacation, right? I think it's like Hotel Transylvania 3, something vacation. I don't know. They have it like a subtitle for it, but like I don't know. I feel like that franchise. I enjoy it, but it's kind of I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of the monster type of Halloween Dracula kind of stuff. I'm just not really interested. But I enjoyed it with the style animation. It's interesting. It definitely is interesting. But I don't know. I feel like they make too many. Like they made too many. Dystopia movies, although those weren't that bad, but still. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I think it. I mean, it's also the thing that's like everyone hates Adam Sandler. It's like, well, why? Because he makes bad movies, or you don't like him because he makes movies that are actually good, and he does make some good movies. I do like him. Actually, he's
not a whole lot.
One of my more overrated actors. Like I have a bit. I like him a lot, but yeah, it's just like another one. Really, it's like it's interesting, and they have more story to tell. I guess I don't know. Like the last one was good because they didn't. Like I think they weren't they were convinced that the baby could fly, and apparently the baby couldn't fly, and eventually it did because I guess they did believe or whatever. It was I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of the movies, but they're interesting. I think they're interesting. I think they're a Sony or Illumination. I don't know. I think they're Sony, right?
Illumination.
Wait, are they from that studio? I don't know. I can't. They're from a studio. I don't know which one it is, but they're a animation studio, and I think they're okay. I'm just not I'm a big fan of them. I'll watch them. Some of the movies you're not a big fan of them, but you'll watch them just because it looks fun. It looks like it could be a movie that they'd be interested in, but it's okay. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was just it was watchable. It's kind of that thing. And then the next movie this movie caused our beloved Superman to star in one of the worst DC movies ever made, Justice League. And this movie is.
I haven't seen that yet.
I'm saying this movie caused him to do that, and that is Mission Impossible 6.
I've never seen any Mission Impossible movies.
What? Are you serious?
I've seen a couple. No, not the whole thing.
I like them a lot. They're really fun. They're wild.
Where's the rabbit's foot?
And because of this movie, Henry Cavill had, he couldn't shave his mustache in Justice League, which ended up being god-awful. And so because of that, he looks in that movie. He looks just terrifyingly creepy in that movie. I didn't even bother watching the movie. I just I'm not going to watch the movie. Don't make me watch the movie. I'm not going to watch the movie. And it's because
I'm going to make you watch the movie.
He looked terrifying in that movie. Just the mouth looks, So, because why it happened? Oh, because he was still Mission Impossible 6, and Mission Impossible 6 actually looks potentially good. I don't know. It looks interesting. I think it'll be people are like, oh, more Mission Impossible. Well, the franchise that they're successful. The people. I feel like people that's great, but I feel like people they get tired of more in a franchise. They're like another one of this. I don't know the problem. People why do people keep complaining? It's a franchise. It makes money. I don't get it. Why do people hate these movie franchises so much? It's not that bad. Pirates of the Caribbean. People hate people think that
I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I never saw many of them.
I like them. It's people need to stop Disney movie franchises. Especially when they say oh, another one. Well, yeah. Is that a bad thing they're making another one? Really? People keep doing that. I'm tired of it. So, but yeah, I don't. Has anyone seen at least one or two Mission Impossible movies, or what?
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
I've never seen any of them.
You should see them. They're really good. I think the first one was really, really good. It had to do with him on a wire, and actually I mean, that scene in Shrek 2 is actually pretty good, but yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. I'm not really a big fan, but I enjoy them. I enjoy the 2-hour-long movies that they are. I'm not kidding. Each movie's about a couple of hours, so they're about James Bond length. They're very long. So not much to talk about that movie. I just thought I should bring it up because it's a movie that movie is the reason why Superman looks creepy in the Disney movie that came out in November. And a movie that actually just got a trailer for it looks really, really very heartwarming, and that's Christopher Robin. I don't know if you guys watch the television shows or movies.
I think Obi-Wan is on the wrong kind of program here.
I saw your comment on that. It's I think it's gonna be interesting because
I want to see that Obi-Wan movie. And you know what?
Actually, it's been played by Ewan Gregor.
And
Ian
Ewan
McGregor.
McGregor to play that movie. He is the only one, pun intended, to make that movie. I'm serious. No, and here's why. Because Ewan McGregor right now is the perfect age to play an Obi-Wan between Alec Guinness, who played original trilogy Obi-Wan, and young Ewan McGregor. He's perfect. He played young Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that is like, he is like peak Kenobi. He is like the Kenobi with the highest ground. He's gotta play it.
Literally.
This got off topic. I'm sorry, but the point is, the reason why is because I brought up this movie that happened to have that actor in it, and everyone started talking about the movie. I don't think that's a problem. I'm just like, who knew that was gonna happen? Sorry about that, guys, but it's gonna happen.
I know.
So actually, one thing about Ian McGregor.
In the movie.
So Ian McGregor is actually a classically trained actor. I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
One of my favorite movies that he's been in is actually called Big Fish.
I like the
Same
movie.
dude that played.
I had to review that.
Is that a reference to Qui-Gon?
No. Enough of the Star Wars stuff. Come on, we're not talking about that right now.
Fish. He played the younger version of the dude that was. What was the guy's name? I forget. If you guys have seen any of the Mission Impossible films, he was the. He turned out to be like the big bad guy. He was also the. What was he in?
What?
Oh my God! I'm thinking of an actor.
Who?
One sec. This is gonna kill me if I don't get it right. Albert Finney.
Oh.
Albert Finney, who was he was in Annie, he was in Big Fish, he was in Skyfall.
Right.
He's been in a lot of different films. And he also played a Scrooge in Scrooge. But yeah, he's been in quite a number of films over the years, and basically it's Ian McGregor. He plays the younger version of him.
Yep, and then and in this movie, it's basically for those of you who watch the Winnie the Pooh cartoon and movies, basically the idea of the story is, for the TV show that I saw, is basically Christopher Robin, now grown up, has a family, amazing family, and Winnie the Pooh shows up, CGI character with the best CGI I've seen in a movie in a long time. Like a really, really good CGI animal. It looks amazing. It's basically Jim Cummings coming back to the voice of the character, and apparently, I guess Christopher Robin, because he's older, he's delusional, so he's almost completely forgotten that Pooh exists. He's like, Pooh, is that you, kind of thing? And it's like, apparently, Pooh wants to convince him to come back and remember your adventures as a kid, kind of thing. That's the basic idea of the plot. I don't know much about besides that. I think that's basically the idea. Is he barely remembers his childhood essentially because he's all grown up. I think it's gonna be an interesting movie. I think that it's gonna be just a Disney movie, so it's I think it's interesting.
There was a theory that I remember going around that said that Christopher Robin actually had all the mental illnesses, and each of the animals in the 100-Acre Wood represented one of them.
Yeah, that one!
One represented depression.
Oh, okay.
Discover with schizophrenia.
Right.
I think Rabbit was anxiety.
Yeah.
So Piglet was anxiety.
Oh, yeah. Rabbit was OCD.
Yeah, OCD.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tigger was ADHD.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's me and my sister, we grew up on that I guess franchise or storybook, whatever, like the movies and the TV shows, whatever they had, any movie like that. I think it was just the movie franchise. And I think it's interesting to actually have a live-action version of this movie tell a different story, a classic tale of a kid with imaginary animal friends in a 100-acre wood, had to go on adventures. I think it's going to be interesting because I don't know if Disney owns the rights to the movie. I think they do, but this would be the 5th movie from Disney this year, if you don't count all the movies, which is crazy. They had Pixar, Disney, all of them. I think it's insane. I think they have a lot of Disney movies coming out. I think this is it's coming out. I think that in August. It looks really good, and I know hardly anything about it besides watching the trailer. But all I can say is it looks very interesting. That's really all I can say. And a movie that looks promising, but I'm not sure what to say about it, is Robin Hood. They're making another Robin Hood movie. Yeah, no, they're making another one in September. It's just called Robin Hood, and they have Jamie Foxx and Taron, whatever that guy was from the Kingston movies. He played Eggsy in that movie. He's playing Robin Hood, I think. Pretty sure.
Taron Egerton.
Yeah, he played Eggsy in the Kingston movies. I've only seen the first one, but he's playing Robin Hood in this movie. I have no idea what the plot is going to be, if it's going to be a new story or what, if it's going to be if it's going to be a fresh tale or just a retelling or whatever. I like Robin Hood, personally, but I don't know, people are sick of the remakes. Come on, more remakes. It's interesting. Come on, what's wrong with retelling? I mean, come on. I like them.
One of the other movies aside from those that I have to mention is Jurassic World.
I think I skipped over that. I only did that because I wasn't sure we should talk about that again because we've already discussed it. But yeah.
Like fucking fantastic.
Sure. We can talk about it if you want to. I'd be up for that. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. The dude that directed it, he's apparently supposed to be a lot of his movies are horror oriented.
Yeah.
They're horror films, and it looks good.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it'll be really, really interesting, and because like people are, I think they even announced a fifth. No, yeah.
They announced
we talked about that a couple
already.
weeks ago about a new one, and you know I'm a big Jurassic Park nerd. I love the music, and me, Big Dinoguy, are dinosaur nerds. He's more nerdy than I am about dinosaurs, but I really like.
Dude, I moved half across the country to study them. I think I'm a bigger nerd.
That is true, but yeah, I think it's interesting because like people are, like I said before, people are tired of like more in a franchise. But I say if it has a good story, I think it's worth seeing it because I'm just don't. People keep criticizing the movies. We're like it's like more sequels. It's like it's reality in movies. Get used to it. You're gonna have sequels and sequels. It's life. It's movies. It's cinema. Get used to it.
Yeah, movies are. I hate to say it, especially as a moviegoer like myself, is that it's essentially just a business. That's all it is.
Yeah.
All that's it's just one big ass business.
Yep.
They're not in most cases, unless someone is really invested in a film, like the actors or the directors want that. In most cases, the people that are behind the studios and whatnot, they're just in there for another buck.
Yep, totally.
Personally, as long as they provide good entertainment, I'm going to give them that buck. But when they start weighting down and doing a bad job, no.
Definitely, I think it's gonna be interesting. I hope the Jurassic Park franchise never ends because I freaking love it. I loved all of them. The third one was a little weird. I enjoyed it, but it was meh. You know,
The third one is okay. My favorite dinosaur of all time. I have two.
Yeah.
The Triceratops and the Spinosaurus.
Oh yes.
The Triceratops was originally featured in the first film.
Yep.
It's the sick dinosaur that Alan Grant puts his head on and just like,
yep.
And then the Spinosaurus is actually the big baddie of Jurassic Park 3.
Wow, yeah.
I
think I remember that.
Yeah, in Jurassic Park 3, the way that they handled the Spinosaurus is not only scientifically inaccurate, but it was the only decent part of that entire film.
Wow.
All the other stuff in the movie, and this is as they're both a reviewer and a dinosaur fan.
Yeah.
All the other ones, it just had a really broken apart storyline. It just wasn't really all that good. It was not really the kind of Jurassic Park film that I expect when I go and see, well, Jurassic Park.
Yep.
It was decent to an extent, but they could have done a hell of a lot better with it. Especially with bringing Alan Grant back into the mix, one of my favorite characters from the first film, if not my all-time favorite, other than dinosaurs themselves, of course. But they did a really bad job of that film with the amount of time that they had.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's I enjoyed them while they lasted. I did have a lot of problems with 2 because the second one, it was just boring. It just went on and on and on. I didn't hate it.
Now
but
that
it was
one
just
I
boring.
disagree with. I love 2. I think that one is honestly it's the third best out of all 4.
Yeah.
But Jurassic World barely kind of goes over it. I love the first one. I think that the second one was a good follow-up. Not the best, not the best, not by a long shot.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was a relatively decent movie.
Yeah, I think that the scene I recall that was the most brutal was when the guy with the hat got eaten by the T-Rex, like, live. Like, you can see the blood. It was just like, you could hear the snapping of the bones. It's like, oh, you know? It was brutal, but it was awesome.
Yeah, I love that scene.
It was great.
I love that
It was just disgusting, but it was like, it was disgustingly awesome. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, girls, yeah. It's kind of like that, you know? It's like brutal, but awesome.
The snake slithered into his shirt, and he freaked out, walked over, and all of a sudden he got pumped up.
Yep.
Yum.
Dinosaurs are
And the river of blood going down.
It's like dinosaurs eat human flesh. Yum. Yum. Okay, so I think we covered a little bit about that. We'll know more about the movie once some more trailers come out. But the next movie is, of course, we talked about Robin Hood. I don't really. Is there anything else we want to talk about for Robin Hood? We're done. We don't know anything about the movie. But are you up for a retelling? Are you up for more of that same story? Or
I enjoy the Robin Hood mythos. One of the movies I grew up with was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, I remember seeing
And
the movie.
it's a damn good film,
It's
actually.
funny. It's funny.
Oh, that one's even better.
Men in Tights was great, yeah.
It's super funny.
It was hilarious.
Where
I remember a part of that movie where one of the guys, one of the blind guys, he just walks. He's like, he doesn't know where he's going, so he just jumps. He walks off of like a tower and just falls. It's so hilarious. That movie is a hilarious movie. I just loved it. And Cary Elwes is he's a great actor. So. Yeah, much I can say about the movie. I feel like people are gonna start like, slamming the movie like, oh, another retelling, more like they did with King Arthur. It's like, come on, more of like, it's storytelling. Get used to it. The people if one movie doesn't do better, they retell it. Get used to it. It's fun,
Mm-hmm. As long as they do a good job with it, I think that'll be fun. I'm not going to watch in the theater unless it looks unless they get damn good reviews. I'm not going to see it in the theater. I have no interest in seeing it in the theater.
And then
I'm going to see it most likely, but I can't guarantee anything.
Oh yeah, definitely. The movie looks very promising, but is going to be set in a different reality. Although it could connect potentially as Venom. One teaser, that's it. So let's skip that one because we don't know anything about that besides one teaser. So skip that one. Because, again, zero information except the teaser. Jungle Book from, I think, Tim Burton or whatever. Another one. We're getting another Jungle Book. Because, why? What else? I think I don't know who's making it, but they're making...
We're getting a what?
I think it's called Jungle Book Origins from Mighty Circus. It's going to be another version of Jungle Book. Another live-action Jungle Book.
Oh, my.
Not even kidding, but they announced it. I think Mighty Circus is doing the mocap for that, so there'll be another Jungle Book movie coming. Maybe it'll be better or not as... Maybe the one we saw last year will be better than the one we... Maybe, because I actually like that one, so... I'm not going to say anything about that, but I'm just going to say they're making another one. They're making another version of it, so... And another movie that people are saying they should just, cancel after the movie comes out is X-Men Dark Phoenix. It looks really good. I'm really looking forward to that movie, because...
I don't know. I was really let down by Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, really?
Oh yeah, I did not like that movie.
I like that. I love them. The opening sequence was awesome. I love those X-Men intros. And then it's like, and then you have the X-Men theme, and then you have the
theme song.
Yeah, it's just awesome. I love that theme song. It's so awesome.
I did like that they had Storm as one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse to begin with, but it just wasn't. It wasn't like I wanted it to. Apocalypse was supposed to be this ultimate bad guy, and they just didn't do that good of a job with him.
I didn't hate it. I think it was.
It was really dorky.
It was interesting. Actually, it was one of my favorite X-Men movies. Actually, I mean, I'm better they'll do a little better, but like honestly, if it's a movie, I'm
gonna say that you're smoking dope.
And I like the movie very much. It was very good. I think that heck, I even loved X-Men 3. I did. Okay, I don't care what people say. I
enjoyed that one too.
I really liked it. I absolutely loved that movie. It was fantastic. Even the music, even though it was different, even though the direction was different, I really enjoyed it. I really did. If people hate it, I love it. I get it.
Okay, I will admit one thing.
Yeah.
I like X-Men 3. That one was... I enjoyed that one growing up.
Yeah.
I hated the way that they handled Juggernaut. He's not a mutant. He's got like some all-powerful crystal, and the reason why he wears that funky-ass helmet is the same reason that Magneto wears it, because his stepbrother, Charles Xavier, could read his mind, and that way, hey, you can't hurt me. But no, he was just some real bitchy stepbrother. That's all he was, and he became a villain because of, well, pretty much family reasons, family, father's a jackass, yada yada yada. X-Men rule. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty much all. So it's just, I mean, I've loved the X-Men franchise so far. I think they've made some great movies. Even Origins, I did like that movie. I don't care what people say about it. Like, one of the worst movies. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was amazing. It answered some questions that we didn't know. It gave us an origin story. It just really gave us a lot of stories. So don't diss the movie, because it's in my opinion pretty good. So.
Okay, I liked everything except for Deadpool. Okay.
Okay, that's the only exception. He's the only part of that movie that really made it not good.
Oh, you are missing out on so much.
Right?
You are missing out on everything.
It looks dope.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Oh, you should see it. It's good.
Oh yeah.
Definitely see it. It's amazing. So yeah, I think the next one is Nutcracker. I've only seen the trailer for it. Okay, people are saying it's horrible. It looks like a terrible idea. I don't agree with that. You gotta see the trailer first to actually think about seeing it. It's basically, if you've ever seen the play of the Nutcracker, basically they were doing a retelling of that story. And
a what story?
The Nutcracker. It's a Disney movie.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm not like a big fan of it, but I think it's gonna be. I think they're gonna put some beauty in it and make it really interesting and amazing, because Disney is known for making actually really beautiful movies, and soundtrack wise, anything, art style, all that stuff. I think they just are known for making really amazing movies. And I think that this movie, other people are starting to hate it. It looks like it could be promising. So who knows? I think the only thing I can know about it is it's like a complete retelling. I think they're taking elements from the original story, but it's gonna be completely new. Yeah, it's pretty much all I can say about the movie. It looked really nice, actually. I think you should check the trailer out. It looks like it could be fun. I think it's coming out November 2nd. So it's just the first week of November. And the next movie that's coming out after that is The Grinch. Now this movie I haven't seen the trailer for.
It actually looks rather funny.
And looks like, yeah. I haven't seen the trailer because I just haven't really gotten around to it, but I will see the trailer after we end this episode. I will definitely see the trailer. Based on the art style, it looks like it could be interesting. People are, I don't know, I feel like that they make too many of these remakes for the Doctor Who movies, but like, again, I like them. I do like them. I don't like the live action Doctor Who. Those are just creepy. Like the Cat in the Hat movie, I never saw that movie, but the trailer was like, ugh, it just looked awful, I did not like that movie. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it. It looks like it could be fun. Fantastic Beasts 2. Yes. Harry Potter fans unite. Yes, it's gonna happen. Making more. Yeah. They made a.
That comes out this year?
That's coming out in November. Yeah, it looks like it could be really good. It's called I think I announced it a few weeks ago. It's called Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. We talked about it in depth when we had a Harry Potter podcast, and all I can say, it looks really good. Actually, I want to see the first one again because I own it, but I think it could be really good because I feel like fans are wanting the more Harry Potter story movies since that last movie came out, and we finally got a whole new batch of movies, and it's like finally more story about the Potter universe, because there's just like, I feel like there's so many stones unturned that we have not discovered yet, like in terms of story. And I think that we haven't even gotten a Marauders movie, we haven't gotten a the heirs of Hogwarts yet. I want to say a movie about that. Any ideas of like that, any character ideas of that would be really amazing to see a movie about that. So that's really all I can say. I think it's gonna be awesome. Wreck-It Ralph 2, we got a trailer for that. What do you think of it?
Oh, another one.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph 2. Cat. Ralph breaks the internet. It's funny. It looks like
that poor fucking cat.
I know.
All those pancakes. That poor.
I know. It explodes. It's hilarious. I think there was the eBay one. It's like going once for the picture of a sad cat, or the depressed cat. It's like, oh god. It's funny though. I will admit it's very funny. I think it's gonna be funny, and I think what I'm most looking for about this movie is the Disney princess, because I don't think we've ever gotten a crossover, like a actual Disney crossover before. It's mainly Marvel and DC, but like never.
Yes, well, technically it wasn't really Disney, but in a way, yes, we did.
Really? Probably.
Well,
unless you mean the
think
Pixar,
so. I don't know.
Unless you mean the Pixar connection, that doesn't really count. But like, an actual Disney princess crossover is gonna happen in Wreck-It Ralph 2. It looks hilarious, and I think that, I don't know, people get like confused, like, why is Vanellope leaving her game? It's like, well, she's looking for a part to replace a part of it. That's why she's gone from the game. That's why she can game jump. So there you go. I love the first movie, and I don't know, it could be. I think it's interesting because I haven't seen Felix yet. Felix is not there in the movie trailer. Oh, because it's just the first movie trailer we've gotten to, like.
Or his wife.
Well, yeah, his wife too. He got married in the first night. I gotta watch the movie again. I really missed that, but yeah.
I've only seen that movie once with an ex.
Really? Yeah, I think it's
yeah, I went and saw that movie with an ex. That's the only time I've seen it. I remember liking it.
It's a great, especially if you're like a big video game, a classic video game arcade nerd. Like if you grew up on the old arcade stuff. I didn't really, because I wasn't really around yet, but, I think it's going to be really interesting just seeing a sequel, especially, and here's the thing with the movie, because the movie is coming out 6 years after the first one came out. The plot is going to take place 6 years after the first one, too. So it's kind of cool how they're making the plot reminiscent of the actual release date. So it's like 6 years apart, 6 years apart with the plot. I think it's cool. So, not much to say about that. I just thought I should, is anybody else here in here looking forward to that movie? Do you guys want to see it?
I enjoyed the first one. I think that it could be fun, but it's just not one of those on the top of my to-watch list,
Yeah.
It's decent, and I love the first one. I think that it was fun, but it's just not one of those that, it didn't wow me. It's not the kind of movie that I want to see in the year that we're going to have Infinity War or Jurassic Park or new Star Wars. It could be fun, yeah. I might see it if I have some extra change in my pocket. I am going to watch it eventually on Netflix, but aside from that, I am not really going to, no.
Yeah. Totally. How about you, Steven and Zoe? Does it look like it could be a fun movie for you?
I don't know. Let me think. I'm not really sure, actually. I mean, there definitely seems to be a lot of interesting movies coming out.
Yeah,
a lot of reboots, I'm definitely noticing.
But you think that Wreck-It Ralph 2 would be a movie for you?
I don't know, maybe.
Hey, we got Shakespeare in the house over here.
How about you, Chakky? You think that Wreck-It Ralph 2 would be good for you?
Oh, if it came on.
Yeah?
If it came on TV, I would probably watch it.
On 2D?
If I was downstairs, I just don't go to see movies. I don't go anywhere.
Not everyone does. You can deal with everyone else whether you just wait for Netflix. Do that. I would recommend do that. If you don't want to go see a movie in a theater, just wait for Netflix. That's what everyone else does. Nothing wrong with that,
Fuck.
But yeah,
Come on.
Yeah, some people do that. Some people just wait till Netflix.
Yeah.
Some movies I can't see you can't physically see every movie and that comes out every year. It's not possible.
No, not you. Don't worry. It's a fucking game.
Okay, well, that's Wreck-It Ralph 2. Then I only have a few more movies on the list for this movie.
Dude, we're
this
running
year.
out of time.
Yeah, we are running. I'll just go for the maybe just a couple more movies. Spider-Man animated movie. Does it look good to you? One more for Miles Morales.
Actually, that looks damn good.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think I don't know anything about it really except for the concept. It looks like it could be fun. I haven't read any of the Miles Morales comics, so I have no idea about the character. I've heard of him, I've learned a little bit about him, but I don't know anything about the movie.
I know very little, but not much.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting to have a black superhero, a black Spider-Man, because they've done so much of diversity with comics, so it's just to be really cool. But yeah, and then I guess that's done. So that's a yes for everyone else. Mortal Engines from Peter Jackson. I haven't seen the trailer yet, but it sounds cool. Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings? The director is going to be directing this movie, basically.
What movie?
Mortal Engines.
What?
Mortal Engines.
Okay, what's that?
It's I don't know much about it, but I think it's a book, and it's being directed by the same director that directed Lord of the Rings and Hobbit. Basically, Peter Jackson is directing a new movie called Mortal Engines, which could be good. I think. I don't know. There's apparently a trailer. I think it's kind of like futuristic movie. I have no idea what it's about. I just know that it sounds cool. It's on the list because it's a movie. It looks like usually any movie from Peter Jackson is usually good except for Hobbit. Those were not particularly. They were okay. They were okay. I enjoyed them, but
I love the first and second. The third was.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's really much you could say. Bumblebee spin-off movie coming out December 21st. Yay or nay?
Yeah.
Bumblebee, from Transformers?
Yep.
No.
No?
Maybe as long as it's not a Bay film.
Okay. Well, I don't think he's directing it. Actually, I don't believe he's directing it.
Good. As long as it's not Michael Bay.
I mean, I'm
all for it.
I heard when they were doing 5.
I'm a huge Transformers fan. I love Bumblebee. That could be. What the hell?
I heard that when they were making 5. That Michael Bay said, I don't think he's directing, but he said that 14 more are in development. I'm sorry, but it's happening. They're not stopping the production of Transformers. They're making more. It's not. I'm sorry, but 14 are coming.
I think they've Hasbro ever wants to salvage their reputation in terms of making a live-action film, which I think would be really fun. I'm a huge Transformers fan. I've been watching since I was 2.
Wow.
I mean, my favorite animated series of all time, my favorite TV show of all time is the original Generation 1 Transformers series.
Yep, I heard. Yep.
Season 1. I grew up watching that way before Bay ever got his grumpy little mitts on it. I remember asking people all the time, hey, have you ever heard Transformers? Have you ever heard Transformers? The only person that I ever heard before the movie came out that was like, yes, I have, was my buddy David.
Yep.
Who's been my closest and oldest friend for years. Everyone else, they start asking me a week later after the Bay movie came out, even though I asked them before that. Have you ever heard Transformers? I'm like, I literally asked you that a week ago.
Wow.
What the fuck? I mean, seriously. And he did a good job with the first one. The first one was really fun. It was new. It was entertaining. It spawned an animated series called Transformers Animated, which was meh, but not bad either. But then he did then he did Revenge of the Fallen, which was Major Tank. Dark of the Moon. That was fun. Oh my god, I love Dark of the Moon for the most part. Then he did Age of Extinction, a 3-hour-long shit fest of nothing but.
I enjoyed the plot. It was interesting.
He fucked up the Dinobots. You can't fuck up the Dinobots
and expect me to actually enjoy the movie. Dinobots. So what? They were on there for 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes of actual scene. Give it a break. What? It's okay. They don't have to be there forever. They can be for 5 minutes and they can make $1 million.
No, he screwed up the Dinobots, and because the only reason why I even had them in there, even though he swore to God he would never put them in the film.
Yeah, I heard the story before. You keep saying it. Yep, I know.
He hated the Dinobots in the original series. He said in an interview he will never, as long as he does anything directing-wise with Transformers, will never put them in his film because he hated them.
Yeah.
The only reason why he did is because Age of Extinction might as well. Fans are yelling for him. Give him Grimlock.
Yep.
And he fucked them up. He absolutely screwed the pooch with them, and that's just not really something that someone with the name Big Dino Guy, fan of Transformers, can really forgive.
Yep, but
just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're making a bunch of spin-off movies, but this one's I don't think I've seen a teaser poster. But would you see it when they first announced it? Because I think they done it already. But are you gonna see it, or are you gonna like pass on it? Because
what movie?
Bumblebee. I think it's gonna be like the origins of that character, of that bots.
It depends on the trailers and it depends on the reviews. I would love to see it. Yeah. I would love to see a decent Transformers film again. I mean, if they do a good job with it, hell yeah. If not, I will wait until it comes out on Netflix.
Yep.
And I honestly hope that it does good. I want to see that series.
I mean, the thing with Transformers is
they dug it great.
That people hate the franchise. Like the fifth one was one of the worst reviewed movies of all time in that entire franchise. Like it was one of the it was considered one of the worst Transformers movies ever made. I thought it was very boring. I didn't hate it, but I thought it was very boring. But that's just like the thing where it's like you have a franchise that's been going on for more than 10 years, and
dude, this has been going on for more than 30.
Has been going on for more than the Doctor Who franchise has been going on for more than 60.
I'm saying the movies actually, but like the fact that like my main interest is the fact that like you have this franchise that everyone seems to hate every movie you make, except you don't plan to stop it because they make a bunch of money.
That's because the director is a shit one.
It's
the only decent film that he has really done was The Rock and like a couple others, maybe. Other than that, is nothing but explosion here, explosion there.
Jeez.
He gets off on explosions. That is Bay. That is Michael Bay's style. That is not Transformers. Transformers are not about that. I'm being serious right now.
I know.
Transformers.
I get it. Yeah.
Granted, originally Transformers was only conceived to be a half-hour commercial. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, all of those TV shows that were popular in the 80s when my dad was growing up were all supposed to have been just commercials. That's it.
Yeah, it's interesting. But like, yeah, I just feel like they just make them, they when a studio just makes more, they just don't plan to stop. Fans aren't gonna get madder and madder and madder. It's like 14 more Transformers. Everyone you may have sucked. More people, depending on the reviewer or the critic. It makes money, and if they have an interesting story, like they in the fifth one, the story they have good. That's the thing with movies. It has to have a good story. If it just explosions, yelling, screaming.
Can I make a suggestion then? If you want to understand what I'm talking about, right now on Netflix there's a show called Transformers Prime. It was originally on.
I have seen a little bit of it. I've seen a few episodes. Yeah, brother. Yeah.
I recently watched both that and I must admit Transformers. What was that show called?
Robots in Disguise.
The one where Bumblebee was the leader. But anyway, I just recently got done watching those two shows, and Transformers Prime is hands down the best Transformers series since the original.
Wow.
And they've made some damn good series over the years.
Oh yeah.
Some damn good ones. Beast Wars, Armada, you name it. They've done some damn good films. And that one was actually relatively good. It was the second best one ever. If you want to know what Transformers is supposed to have been about, watch that series.
Oh yeah,
and that's high praise.
Yep, I did try that series. It was actually not bad. But yeah, I think that's all I can say. And then the final movie of this year that's coming out that we finally got a teaser for, and I just want to say yay or nay again, is Mary Poppins Returns after 54 years of being not made. It's a sequel, 54 years in the making. I'm not kidding. The movie came out in 1964. It's been 54 years. It's ridiculous. But they're making another Mary Poppins movie starring Emily Blunt. Yay or nay?
Could be fun. I don't know. Haven't seen the first one. At least that one I can remember. So I'm not gonna watch it.
It did come out in the 60s, but
I watched the really old one.
I think it's interesting because like people are convinced that Mary Poppins is a time lady. It's really
no correlation between the two.
It's obvious.
I understand why, but it's just a fan theory.
It's a fan theory. It's funny, but yeah, I think the plot of the movie is basically the kids from the first movie are all grown up as like adults, and Mary Poppins Returns. That's pretty much it. What's going on? What happened?
I'm sorry, I just sent a really funny fucking message.
Oh, okay, got it. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. Mary Poppins Returns coming out Christmas, actually, so sure. I think it'll be interesting. I think Emily Blunt's a brilliant actress. She has what's her name? She's making some really good movies, so yeah, that's pretty much the movies of this year, besides the one that have already come out. We don't need to talk about those because they've already come out, so the movies that are coming out this year are the ones we talked about. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're pretty much gonna end up here right now. We're gonna, because we've gone over time. We're almost we've been recording for almost 80 minutes now, so we probably should end it now. Because a lot of us have to skedaddle, but yeah, out of all those movies, what are your top 3 you're most looking forward to?
Jurassic World, Solo, and Infinity.
Yes, definitely.
Solo, and Solo.
You can't pick the same movie in 3 times. Pick 3 of them that are different. Come on.
I know.
That's fair. The joke. Be fair.
Anyway, okay, so Solo, I want to see, what was that one? I don't remember the name of it.
Okay, that's fine.
But, I want to see, what was that one? What were the movies we talked about again? I don't remember.
So many, Solo time.
I don't want to have to go through the whole list. It's going to take like 5 minutes.
I'm just going to go with Solo. Oh, Wrinkle in Time is the second one.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, that was the beginning of our list. Technically,
and
already out, but
I guess I'll go with Mary. I don't remember any of the other ones.
Some of the big ones. That was one of the big ones that are coming out. Rocket Ralph 2 looks promising.
Or Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
When it comes out, yes. When it's announced, officially. How about you, Steve and Zoe? Any top 3 movies you're looking forward to this year?
Oh, I guess the second Wreck-It Ralph movie and also Wrinkle in Time.
Okay, cool. I think that's just top 2, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Just top movies that you want to see, basically. Whatever. So yeah, I think that's all I can say. I think I'm looking forward to this year. A lot of great movies. I can't see all of them, but hey, we can. I recommend just going to the second run theater if you can. I imagine there's one in your state, but still. That's all we're gonna do for this episode because we are very much at time. We are way past the time. We don't do this a lot. I miss the days we used to have like a big long podcast. They're fun. I mean, come on, because it's mainly because Big Dinoguy lives in a state that's 2 hours away from us. That's why we're to edit like really soon. But yeah, I'm glad we were able to stick around and do this and talk a lot about stuff like that. So I'm sorry we didn't get to the second topic, but time. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll do the rest of the topics next time.
No, dude, don't apologize so much.
It's okay. We'll tackle the rest of the other topics the next week. We can. Whatever. I figure it's okay. We do one topic, as much as we can. So anyway, that's all I can say about that. So anyway, yeah. That is for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Madhouse. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please the like button. We all really appreciate the support. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe for more episodes of this podcast and other series that I do. Also, make sure you subscribe to Chakky and bigdinoguy. Their channels will be in the description below. Check them out. And we will be back next time with another episode. And also, make sure you turn the notification bell on so you can be alerted when episodes of this podcast come out. And we'll be back next time with another episode. Alright, bye-bye. What? What?
I don't.
Anyway. Bye-bye.
Live long and prosper, and may the force, the memes, and the high ground be with you all.